Hello everybody, I am the developer behind Swine Studios. I'm going to be showing you how in 10 days, I was able to balance taking my school finals and turning this into a full puzzle platformer. The idea phase for this was actually really straightforward. I've had this idea for a 2D puzzle game that plays top-down in certain parts, and then switches to have gravity in others. During this day, I also came up with a little story to match the concept. You play as this little SCP-like entity drawn on a page, and your goal is to escape the facility by traversing classified documents and trying to find your family of other drawn doodle guys. A ton of progress was completed for the movement. I had this system in place where you would take the camera and flip it to look at the top plane of the box that would eventually become the level by using lerping and slurping. Those are funny words that mean smoothing movement and rotation from 2 points. However, the player itself does not flip yet, and that needed to be fixed. Chemistry, all day. 2 steps forward, 1 step back, plus a few more steps back, but that doesn't take away from the steps forward. I completely overhauled the flipping mechanic. The only thing that flipped now was the box itself. This way, I only had to rotate the box instead of rotate and move the camera along with the player. Today was the first big re-evaluating. There's a famous phrase I accidentally stumbled upon during this jam. Follow the fun. I realized there couldn't be many challenging puzzle mechanics when the player's in the top-down phase. And after some consideration, I decided to switch the core mechanic to be focused on gravity always facing down. That means when you flip from the top area to the right area, gravity is not facing the same as it was. This could have many different puzzles focused around it. Today was also the day I decided on the name. Madapi. I'm not really sure why, it has no significance in my life, but I think the name sounds really cute. I worked for a while on just flipping the board, seeing as how it is the main mechanic, and nothing was working. I discovered a terrifying problem that I never considered. In Unity, the Y-axis always faces vertical to the camera, meaning no matter how you turn the X and Z, the Y will always flip a character to turn left and right. This means I cannot rely on turning to work the same when the level's tilted in different ways. Which is a problem, because that's what it's going to be doing all the time. I was not happy this day. Unity's rotation system seems ridiculously busted to me. What is the purpose of having 4 values you can put in, if all I care about is rotating on 3 planes? I shouldn't need to mess with the 4th dimension to make this game possible. There's a different system in place for this called Euler angles. They are meant to handle rotation if you're thinking about it like a human on just the 3 planes. However, they don't work properly for me. When I tell the computer, rotate on the Y-axis, the computer chooses to rotate on the Z-axis, because in this specific scenario, they would work the same. However, because it didn't listen to exactly what I wanted, all future rotations will not work the same. It's like asking your buddy to help you move. You tell them, "Hey Euler Angles, can you please walk my TV down those steps?" And Euler Angles responds, "Sure," and throws the TV down the stairs, completely obliterating it. In their mind, the TV is now down the stairs, which means objective completed. But to any other sane person, not listening to the exact instructions given caused the TV to never function again. And this is a problem. I've decided to go back to my roots of problem solving, trial and error. Every time the game would rotate in a way it was not supposed to, I hard-coded in the right solution for that exact problem. If it starts at XYZ and needs to be rotated to the right, I check every single factor and how it was positioned and force the game to listen to the right move. It worked, but as you can imagine, manually coding in a solution for any problem is a little time-consuming. However, the feeling of satisfaction I got when I could keep flipping the block without any errors was unmatched. I woke up today overflowing with motivation. It was time to bring in the game elements that would turn my silly little flipping game into a challenging puzzle. These yellow platforms could be passed through from above or below. Solid platforms are always walls, while hollow ones can be jumped through from the bottom. Blue platforms can only be passed through if the arrow faces down. Striped door platforms remain solid when powered by a switch, but intangible if not. At the end of the day, I had a finished level, and even gave it to my sibling for them to playtest. Despite them not being too familiar with video games, it was very humbling to see where I had gone wrong with my design, especially on this blue platform. There was no reason for players to know that the arrow had to be facing down to use it. The only one who knew that was me, because, obviously, I needed to put the player in a situation that would force them to use the blue platform the way it was intended. Obviously, level design is a bit easier said than done, though. I created a second level today and gave it to my parents to playtest. They did not do so well. I could tell they were getting frustrated by the game and how they were not figuring out what to do. This told me I had to make the game visually have a clear objective. There was no way of knowing that this blue arrow I put in was the goal, or what any of the platform types did unless the game forces them to use them in the certain way they were supposed to. I have half a day left to finish a lot of things, and I'm getting worried. I had to make volume control, a finished menu, sound effects, fix the little wall sticking bug, a third level, and a level menu. I have no idea what I did during this day. It was a craze of motivation and lack of tending to human necessities. However, I did it. I somehow finished the game and submitted it. I was very tired, but proud. After the judging period was over, I got Monopoly's ratings back. I expected nothing from it. This was my first ever jam and technically second game ever made. I was just trying to finish it on time. I couldn't believe how well the game was liked. Monopoly ranked 68th out of 1001 overall, and in the category of mechanics ranked 4th. I was so incredibly proud and touched that so many people had played my game and loved it. Thank you to those who have played, I really appreciate it. I'm expanding the story and making more levels now, so you should expect to see it on my website soon enough. See ya!